If you leave a coin on a park bench, a crow might steal it. But they aren't just hoarding shiny objects like mindless magpies. They are actively participating in an economy. Corvids, the family of birds that includes crows and ravens, possess a level of intelligence that rivals a 7-year-old human. They understand commerce, they understand currency, and they understand revenge. In several experiments, scientists have successfully trained crows to use vending machines. The concept is simple. The bird finds a specific token, like a coin or a bottle cap, drops it into a slot, and a machine dispenses a peanut. But the crows didn't just learn the trick, they optimized it. They started actively scavenging the area for the specific currency required, ignoring useless objects and monopolizing the machine. But to run an economy, you need memory. You need to know who to trade with and who has ripped you off. In 2006, researchers at the University of Washington tested crow memory. They walked around campus wearing a specific, creepy caveman mask and trapped and banded a few crows. It was a stressful experience for the birds. After releasing them, the researchers walked the campus again in the same mask. The banded crows recognized the mask immediately and began scolding, a loud, aggressive series of caws. But here is the terrifying part. Soon, crows that had never been trapped started attacking the masked researcher. The original crows had communicated the exact facial features of their attacker to the rest of the flock. Years later, long after the original crows had died, researchers wore the mask on campus again. The new generation of crows, birds that weren't even born when the first experiment happened, immediately mobbed the researcher. They don't just hold grudges, they pass them down through generations. They have a culture, and they have a most wanted list. If you get on their good side, however, the results are incredible. Take the story of Gabi Mann, a young girl in Seattle who started casually feeding the crows in her garden. After a while, the crows decided to pay her back. They began bringing her gifts. Not trash, but curated, shiny objects. A yellow bead, a piece of sea glass, a perfectly polished rock, a silver pendant. The crows would carefully leave these items on her feeding tray and wait for her to find them. When Gabi lost a camera lens cap in a nearby alley, the crows found it, picked it up, and returned it to her bird bath. This wasn't an accident. This was a calculated transaction. They recognized Gabi as a valuable asset and paid her to ensure the food supply chain remained open. This economic mindset stems from their supreme problem-solving abilities. Crows are one of the only animals on Earth that not only use tools, but manufacture them. If a crow needs to get a bug out of a log, it will strip the leaves off a twig and bend the end into a hook. If the hook is too short, they will attach it to another stick. They understand water displacement, a concept most human children don't grasp until they are 5 or 6. When faced with a glass tube containing water and a floating treat just out of reach, a crow will gather heavy stones and drop them into the tube one by one, raising the water level until they can grab the food. They understand physics. Now, scientists and engineers are trying to harness this intelligence for the greater good. Startups in Europe have built specialized automated machines designed to trade directly with crows. The currency? Human trash. Specifically, the millions of discarded cigarette butts littering our streets. The machine trains the crows in stages. First, it gives them free food. Then, it leaves a cigarette butt on the machine. If the crow knocks it into the slot, it gets food. Finally, the crows figure out the exchange rate. They fly off into the park, hunt down cigarette butts dropped by humans, and deposit them into the machine for a payout. We are literally outsourcing our street cleaning to birds. We often think of human intelligence as a straight line, with us at the absolute peak and everything else far below. But evolution isn't a ladder, it's a web. The crow brain is the size of a walnut. It lacks a neocortex, the area of the human brain responsible for complex thought. Yet, through an entirely different evolutionary path, they have arrived at the same destination. They build tools, they form economies, they hold trials for their dead, they remember our faces, and they judge our actions. So, the next time you walk past a crow watching you intently from a power line, don't just see a bird. You are looking at a parallel civilization, silently waiting for its turn.